Hi, folks. I want to just give a little dissertation on the use of smart groups or starnets or things like that where you sign into the group and in order to stop being a member you have to sign out of it, which is a little different than your typical call sign routing, even though it is still call sign routing. It's more of a group call sign routing as opposed to one-on-one. We have a group, and we've discovered today, we should have realized it, but we discovered today that if I go on to my local repeater and I am talking there with CQ, CQ, CQ in the UR call field, like I normally would. And then I go to my hotspot, or actually it doesn't make any difference where I go. I sign into a smart group or a starnet, and I talk there. And now I've become a member of that group for the duration of the time until it automatically logs you off. Now, in our case, our automatic log off is 10 hours. Now, the way this all works is you talk to the group. As long as you have signed in, it was going to keep track of you no matter what repeater you go to. So, in my example, I talked on my local repeater. Then I signed into a smart group. And then I moved to a different repeater. People were talking on the smart group, but I wasn't. But after I've transmitted on that different repeater, all the traffic from that smart group that's going to it is going to find me and continue to send the traffic there until I key up someplace else, or until I am automatically signed off by the smart group, or until I sign myself off of the smart group. So in today's situation that we had, that's prompted this message, one of our fellow hams signed into the smart group someplace, maybe from their hotspot, maybe from the repeater, I don't know. And they didn't sign out. But the last place they transmitted was on one of the repeaters. Then several of us got in conversation on the smart group using our hotspots. And I get a phone call from one of the other guys who says, "How come I'm hearing you on the local repeater? And I know you're not there." And I said, "No, we're not there." I says, "I haven't been on the local repeater in ages, but it doesn't make any sense to me." I had to put my thinking cap on. So then I started looking at the dashboard to see who had been on the local repeater and if they were signed into the smart group. And sure enough, I found one of the guys had signed into the smart group, talked on the local repeater, and left. Now, with our smart group, you're there for 10 hours unless you sign off. So, any traffic going to the smart group is now going to that local repeater, which prevents anybody on the local repeater to have a conversation because they're hearing us. We don't hear them. And they don't know what's going on. Very confusing to some people because a lot of people don't understand how this all works. Even though we understood how it worked, it didn't dawn on us this would happen. So, all I can say to prevent this situation is if you use a smart group and then you're not going to be on your radio to listen to that smart group, please sign off. Don't let the automatic sign off do it for you because that's 10-hour window currently We're going to try to change that. But it doesn't make any difference what we change it to. We still have the same problem for some period of time. So please sign off yourself and don't just let it default. Or if you really want to listen to the smart group and you have a hotspot, go back and talk on your hotspot again after you've been on the repeater, so that the traffic now diverts back to your hotspot and doesn't go to the repeater, which was the last place you had transmitted. Remember, traffic to smart groups and starnets, which are similar in nature, will follow you wherever you go. So, hey guys, we need to sign off if that's what we want to do, especially if we've been on a local repeater with our last transmission. So hopefully you guys understood that. If not, feel free to get a hold of me, W1FJM at W1FJM.com, and I'll be glad to talk to you. We can make a phone hookup, or I have a Zoom meeting thing that we can use, and we can discuss it further. So with that, we are going to change our timeout, I think, on our smart group here to something less than 10 hours. But still, it doesn't solve the problem. Catch you guys later. 73.